I think that when people talk about like that whole era of video vixens, that was a beautiful era of women that could have literally had any man they wanted. Even the girl she was talking about, as far as with the white guys, the Hermione Granger character, she really could have had the man she wanted. Like, I think it's cap to pretend like all these stars had the line specifically for her to find somebody. No, the person that you specifically wanted had way more options than what you find with men who she would aspire to. They don't have to settle for anything, and you're mad about that, or you're feeling like I'm gonna find another one just like him, when it's a very small amount of these men.
I was never very vocal about what it was that I wanted. The vast majority of men that I've been involved with have assumed that my love language was gifts. They weren't. It was not. It's like, okay, well, I'm not gonna slap a gift horse in the mouth, but that's not my love language. That's not the primary one. The primary one is, is quality time. And then, right, physical touch, and those were the quality time was the one thing that I could never really get. But I always felt like I was asking for too much. Yeah. Yeah. And that's where I had to, do a lot of internal work, understanding standards, boundaries, how it all relates to my sense of self-esteem. Or lack thereof at different times. I for a long time, I lacked a lot of self-esteem. Thankfully, that attitude is going out the window. Kind of really love that Vogue article. Is it embarrassing to have a boyfriend these days?
I've been on this time.
Right.
I've been saying, don't post me.
Right. I am a pioneer on many, many things. But yeah, no, I've definitely had the whole can't keep a man. What's wrong with you? You say, you seem so perfect, so something must be wrong with you kind of thing. And it's just like, okay, whatever.
Well, there's an element to luck of it, which we have to acknowledge in anything in life, right? Like, I always remember this article I read about Zac Efron saying when people have praised him for the High School Musical thing or for his acting career, he's like, I want you to know that when I walked in the audition room, there was 70 other people who looked identical to me. Mm-hmm. For some reason, somehow, some lucky break, maybe I reminded someone a little more of their nephew, or I made a joke that hit with someone because they just ate that food that day, whatever it was, there was some lucky break that happened. It has nothing to do with talent or merit or anything else.
Very true.
I was there for the opportunity. I got a lucky break. And that applies to love or anything else.
I agree.
You walk into the deli store, you go to the grocery store, like you fall in love, or you have to have the chance meeting, and then plus the availability. There's a lot of things that play to make it so finding your person is extremely hard. I actually love, what was that girl from Harry Potter's name?
Emma Watson.
Yeah. In an interview about that, she was asked that question too. Like, I don't get it. You're everyone's dream girl. Yeah. She was the most beautiful woman alive at one point, and how are you still single? And she's like, how entitled are you all? Mm-hmm. Why do you think that this is such a miracle thing to be a person, to find yourself, to love yourself, and to find somebody else who loves themselves, who you love being with, who amplifies your life? You happen to amplify theirs, and you want the same thing, live in the same town, your friends and family get along, like all of the variables that take place to make that happen. Why do we all feel like everybody should just have that?
I never did. I've always felt like people who found their person and they just work, they like as well as love. Because that's, to me, like is more important than love. Mm-hmm. Because there's a thin line between love and hate, but like equals respect. You know what I mean? And I've always looked at people who have found their person and just found their soul's counterpart, if you will. I've always found them to be so lucky because it's really like a lottery. You know what I mean? And I just don't see anybody out there that I really would love to sleep with. I'm super I'm an incel right now, involuntary celibate, because there's nobody out there that I would really like to sleep with, and plus I'm so busy.
So now she's celibate.
I'm so 736,000 miles of dick, and now all of a sudden you don't want to take another one. Girl, get the fuck out of here.
But not only that, she's over here talking about finding the person's soul counterpart, finding somebody that you want to be in love with, and all this love. And then it's like, but I don't see nobody I want to sleep with. So what are you trying to do exactly? Are you trying to find somebody to be your soul counterpart, or are you trying to sleep with somebody? I'm confused.
She's trying to convince herself that what she's saying is true.
That part. She don't entirely believe it. She knows she's ran through. She knows her time is up.
She's not involuntarily celibate. I mean, technically she could control she's involuntarily single. but whatever.
So it was.
Go ahead, Mark. Yeah,
it was two things. One, back to the discipline conversation y'all was having. I just kept thinking about Kobe. I'm like, Kobe, the most disciplined dude probably that I've ever heard of. You hear the stories about how he used to work out and train, and just stayed consistent, and even his ass got caught cheating. Like,
Yeah,
like
he
I,
was disciplined in his
you know what I'm
tweets.
saying? And I don't know a more disciplined person than that. Like, I just really don't.
Yeah,
But
I don't
in
think
regards to Melissa,
Discipline
in
it.
regards to the in regards to the Melyssa Ford thing, yeah, man, I think that when people talk about like that whole era of video vixens, that was a beautiful era of women that could have literally had any man they wanted. Even the girl she was talking about, as far as with the white guys, the Hermione Granger character, she really could have had the man she wanted. Like, I think it's cap to pretend like all these stars had to line specifically for her to find somebody. No, the person that you specifically wanted had way more options than what you find with men who she would aspire to. They don't have to settle for anything, and you're mad about that, or you're feeling like I'm gonna find another one just like him when it's a very small amount of these men. And that's the truth behind it. And you end up recycling through because it's a small network of the people that she would actually want to date. And it's you can have your way out here. So it's a double standard in a dating market that in this case it benefits men. There are a lot of double standards that don't benefit us, but in this case, that one specifically benefits us. And yeah, when you said earlier, you kind of got to jump out of the dating market before you like 29, 30. Like, if you want to like maximize what she's talking about with the type of man she was saying.
Go ahead, True. I thought you wanted to say something. All right. Anybody else want to respond to what she had to say?
Yeah, I think one, I don't know. I don't fault anybody for growth, right? I think if she was still an old hoe, that would be a problem for me. So for me personally, yeah, stop spreading your box around. Please grow up, right? As I think all hoes and people should, you know. So that's just one. I'm just saying. But number two, as far as wanting real connection, to be connected to sex, I think the real question I think she should ask herself is, who is she looking for, right? And two, I think in White point, it's like the type of people you may have been looking for at the time when you was in your prime and running through, you wouldn't leave most of those people with your kids. They're not good people for the majority. Like, we all have heard about entertainment, Diddy parties, Epstein, all of this. Most of those people ain't worth settling down with. But people, to Willie's point, throw themselves like at them for money. But the truth of the matter is that the older you get, the more you see that the money doesn't keep you safe at night. It doesn't help you sleep better. All the stuff that's going to happen could actually put you up in jail if you Diddy. So I think the real thing is, like, what circles is she looking in? Is she really looking to settle down? Is she beholden to a certain standard of life instead of looking at the character of a person and really what she wants? Because I think for a number of people, it's like once you've got a taste of that lifestyle, it's hard to break that habit. And if she may not have really broke it.
Yeah, I agree. But then also I remember she said something like her love language is quality time and physical touch and stuff like that. And she was like, dealing with a lot of gift horses, as she calls them. And she said something like, I don't want to smack a gift horse in the mouth, but if the way you need to be loved is by spending quality time with that person, maybe you should tell him, like, hey, gifts are cool. I really like that. Thank you so much. But like, this is what I want. I don't think there's any problem with you expressing that. And then also she mentioned that she couldn't really get quality time. You're dealing with men who don't have time, first of all. They're doing, a lot of the men in the entertainment industry, they're doing shows, or they're traveling here, they're going there, they're doing this, they're doing that. It's always something. So where do you think you're about to get this quality time from?
So, I'm glad you brought up the love languages thing too, because I know a lot of people don't believe in it. But I think, after reading the love language book, doing the test, doing the journal and all that, for me, I think a problem is people try to love people in their own love languages, like you said, versus their love language. Like, I think I've dated a guy at one time who he was big on gifts, and then what is acts of service? Where for me, I try to explain to him like words of affirmation was big for me. You know, I grew up in a home where we didn't say I love you and things like that. So as I got older, I started learning what I like. But a lot of times people, they love in other people's, love in their language versus, you know, their person's language. So that's one thing I noticed she said. And then she said something about self-worth or, you know, but I think that a lot of times we, and I say we as a whole, you know, we don't have a sense of self-worth, and not saying she was worth this or that. I'm just saying we don't know what our boundaries are when it comes to our own worth. So I think knowing your own standards, we can't tell that girl what her standards are. I get it. That's what her standards are now.
When relationships fail, do women blame themselves more than men do?
How will we know?
I
I'm
don't
not a
think
man.
so.
I can only think for myself.
I think they
How
do.
much of the blame do you normally take in a relationship, Fallon, in your brain? Like when you do a self-reflection, how much of that is your fault?
I mean, I'm going to review my account. Well, one, why are we even getting to that stage to begin with? But to answer your question, yeah, I'm going to do a self-reflection to say, okay, I'm going to review the situations that could have been handled better. Was it communication, compromise, things of that nature? But I mean, were we actually compatible? Was this person just brought here just to show me what I needed? Like, but I at the same exact time, I can't measure that because I can't sit here and make a comparison to what he's thinking if I don't know. Have you ever thought to yourself, this is 100% my fault? If I wouldn't have done this, then we would still be together?